29-year-old Alexis Ware worked as a hairstylist in her home studio. The young woman loved fashion and doing makeup. She was active on social media and wanted to do Instagram modelling. She had plans of opening up her own boutique in Atlanta, and Instagram was going to build her platform with that. A move to Atlanta would also bring her closer to her little brother. Those who knew her described her great personality. Her younger half-brother Travis said she has always been supportive, kind and wants to help everyone. Everything that comes with a big sister, that was her. Alexis currently resided in Greenville, South Carolina, with a 9-year-old daughter and 2-year-old son from a previous relationship, and she cherished spending time with her children. Everything she was aiming to do with her life was to make a better life for them. On January the 29th, 2022, Alexis spent the weekend with her family at her mother's house, located about 80 miles away from her home in Greenville. What would normally be an opportunity for the family to relax and spend some quality time together didn't exactly pan out like that. During the family weekend, Alexis was crying about her upcoming 30th birthday, something she would normally go all out to celebrate. By this point, she would normally have everything in place, the event, the outfit, some sort of plans, but this year was different. Alexis said she didn't think she was going to make it to celebrate her birthday. A shocking premonition that would come true. Described as nervous, she talked to her mother about receiving unwanted phone calls from an unknown person she simply referred to as the devil. The calls she was receiving from the same number were constant. Alexis also told her mother that she believed she was being followed and that the person in the black truck had been following her for weeks, but she would not elaborate any further. One thing for sure, she was fearful for her life at this point. Against her family's wishes, Alexis made the trek back to her home in Greenville at around noon on Sunday. Her mother and father called her to check on her about 3 p.m. She answered the video call right away, and she was lying on her bed after taking a nap. This would be the last time that they would speak to their daughter. Around 7 p.m. that same day, just 4 hours after her video call, Ware went to meet her youngest child's father, TJ Patterson, at a 7-Eleven store on Highway 29 in Anderson, South Carolina. She handed him the children and they left in separate cars. According to him, Ware was supposed to follow him to his mother's house before heading back to her mother's house. However, at some point in the drive, she allegedly drove round his car at a red light and sped off into the night. At around 7:30, TJ calls her parents, concerned about the manner of her departure. They are surprised by the call, as it seems strange that she never told them about any plans to meet up with TJ to drop the children off or to come back to their house. Immediately they tried to contact their daughter, to no avail. All calls just went straight to voicemail. Sunday turned to Monday with no further word from Alexis. When her increasingly concerned family couldn't locate her or get hold of her via her cell phone, they reported her missing to the Anderson County Sheriff's Office. Investigators found surveillance video showing Alexis at the gas station. It was confirmed she was with her ex-boyfriend and the father of her son, TJ Patterson. Unfortunately, a lot of the video was actually blocked by a tractor trailer that comes into view, but you can see that they're both in their separate vehicles, and it doesn't appear any struggle or anything unusual happens. After this interaction, investigators were able to determine her car was seen somewhere else, this time at an apartment complex in Anderson, which is nowhere near her mum's home. Her mother, Alberta, says Alexis has never mentioned this apartment complex or anyone she might have known there. Nevertheless, her car was seen there about an hour and a half after leaving the gas station. It is unknown who was behind the wheel at this point, leaving those close to her trying to piece together what happened that night and why she sped off to head there. With the investigation underway, detectives interviewed family members and friends, including those who saw or spoke with Alexis prior to her disappearance. TJ told law enforcement he went straight home from the meeting with his children. His alibi checked out with the detectives as far as it could be, and he was ruled out as a suspect. Detectives also checked coroner's offices and hospitals for unidentified patients, in addition to checking with TSA for flights that Alexis may have taken, all to no avail. However, the next break in the case would come only a few days later. Around 50 miles south of Anderson, in the small town of McCormick, a 2019 red Honda Accord was located. A property owner had spotted Alexis's car on a dirt road. Police say it had been there for a couple of days. Because it was logging season in the area, the property owner assumed that it was a logging worker's vehicle. Notable items were left behind inside Alexis's car, such as her cell phone, her purse and a bag of clothes in the trunk. A black hair bonnet that she was last seen wearing at the 7-Eleven was lying on the ground just outside her car. What they didn't find inside her car was any blood or fingerprints other than Alexis's to help point to any leads, nor did they have any idea why, if she had indeed been driving her car, would it be there. The rural community in which it was found she had absolutely no ties to. With the discovery of the car, multiple law enforcement agencies, including more than 30 personnel, manned a grid search covering more than 200 acres near where the car was found. Nearly 4 square miles were searched on the ground and from the air. Despite all of their searches and the family's searches, authorities never located any further evidence. The FBI joined the investigation efforts 2 months after Alexis went missing. Her car also apparently travelled to Augusta, Georgia during that time. According to Alexis's stepfather, Augusta, Georgia back to McCormick is 30 miles, so that vehicle travelled at least an hour from Anderson to travel to Georgia, and it ended up in a hunting field in McCormick. In March, Alexis's 30th birthday arrived, and there was still no word from her. It seemed her worst fear had come true. In the time after her disappearance, her family had billboards erected along one of the busiest roads in the city. Large, bold white letters on a red and black background read, "Missing Alexis Ware." A $5,000 reward was put up via Crime Stoppers for information leading to Alexis being found, but nothing has brought in any new leads. For her part, her mother doesn't think TJ had anything to do with her daughter's disappearance, but the events around that night still remain a mystery. As of 2024, Alexis Ware remains missing, and her case unsolved.